Welcome to Lorex. Today we will start with a Today we'll start with the topic of best for offensive security. We will be seeing how we can use base for our offensive security part. Before starting with the base learning path, or before starting with the chapter one, we have I will show you the lab setup you need or you require for this tutorial or for this learning process. Before we write a single line of bash, we need a safe, isolated place to break things because in offensive security, you will break things a lot and you don't want to break your actual machine. So why Ubuntu server, not desktop? We are not installing Ubuntu desktop with a GUI. We are going bare metal Ubuntu server. No graphical interface, just a terminal. Why? Because that's what you will get when you land on a compromised system. Get comfortable with the command line now, so it doesn't terrify you. Every demo in this series will be done over SSH from Windows, not inside the VM window. This mirrors a real-world workflow. You pop a shell on a remote box and work through it. Get used to it now. In this episode, download and set up VirtualBox, install Ubuntu Server, configure the network so SSH works, and connect from Windows PowerShell. Let's go. Head to virtualbox.com, click download, grab the host installer. It's free. While that downloads, let me explain what VirtualBox actually does. So VirtualBox creates a completely isolated virtual machine, a computer inside your computer. It gets its own CPU slice, RAM, and virtual hard disk. The host, your window machine, never sees what happening inside it. So now we will run the installer. Not where it's saved, usually the download folder. You will need to point VirtualBox at this file in a moment. So going starting, let's mm, so while it downloads, let's explain ISO. And ISO is basically a disk image. Think of it as a virtual installation DVD. VirtualBox will use it as the boot media when we first start the VM. Just like if you did inserted a physical Ubuntu disk, not where it is saved. Usually the download folders, you will need to point the VirtualBox at this file in a moment. Let's wait to its download. Back in VirtualBox, Click new, give it a name, something like, let's say, wait, new, something like bash, web, okay, bash lab. For the ISO image, browse to that Ubuntu server file we just downloaded. But first, I will select the path where I want my virtual box to be created. I want it to be on the D drive. Now, so okay, so now we have selected the server file, Ubuntu server file we just downloaded. VirtualBox should auto detect the type as Linux and the version as the Ubuntu 64-bit. Okay. So now, as for the hardware, RAM and CPU, for RAM, give it at least 2 GB. I am going with 2048 MB, which is technically a 2 GB of RAM. For CPU, 2 cores is plenty. This isn't a gaming rig. It's a text terminal. It validates any resources. So now we will go for the virtual hard disk. In this, create a virtual hard disk of about 20 GB is more than enough for our lab. I have kept the default to 25. Keep it as a VDI format, which is dynamically allocated, so it only uses real disk space as needed. Okay, so before going for the virtual machine, this is the most important step for SSH to work. Let's say by default, VirtualBox uses a net network, which means the VM can access the internet, but your Windows host cannot talk to the VM directly. We need to add a second network adapter. This is the most important step I already told you. Uh, you can see that in the adapter it is a net. We will go to adapter 2. Here we will enable the network adapter and we will go and check then set you can say set adjust to host only adapter. This create a private network between this create a private network between just your Windows machine and the VM. Perfect for SSH. Okay. So it's now its name is VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter, and we will select OK. So now the VM has two network cards. Adapter one using net gives it internet access. Adapter two using host only lets your Windows machine reach it over SSH. Two different jobs, both needed. Okay, now we will head to the installation of Ubuntu server. Start the virtual machine. Then you can see start. So starting the VM, it will put from the ISO. You will see the any group screen. Hit enter to put or just wait. Then the Ubuntu installer starts. As you can see, let's hit select. We will go Select your language. English is fine. Then keyboard layout. If you are on a standard US keyboard, just hit enter to use the default. And we will keep on the Ubuntu server, not the minimized version. We want a normal server install. The network screen shows both adapters. The first one ENP0S3 got an IP from the DHCP via NAT. The second ENP0S8 might show no IP. That's fine for now. But here you can see it's showing 192.168.56, the which is the host network. So export the proxy address, leave blank unless your network needs one. Uh, Keep the mirror, keep default, done, and done. Then say the done. So the mirror location is being tested. For now, you cannot go ahead. Okay, so for the storage layout, we'll use the entire disk. The guided option is fine. It will pass in the 20 GB disk, means 25 GB of disk automatic. Confirm and hit done. Then continue when it wants you about data load. So VM disk is empty anyway. You can see the VM is, we have created a disk, separate disk, and that disk is empty. So you don't have to worry about the loss of data as the disk is already empty. Now the important bit, your name, call it whatever, server name. I'm using PowerShell. So for now, I will use the Rx, your server name. I will use Bash that. Pick a username. Keep it simple. Username, you can keep it simple. I'll keep it like Bash, Rover, Bash. Choose whatever your password requires. Okay, then do it done. Okay, so you can see the Ubuntu Pro upgrade. We don't need the Pro. We will keep it on a speed and hit continue. This screen is pretty good. Check in install OpenSSH server. This installs the SSH daemon that let us connect from Windows. Without this, the whole SSH workflow won't work. Okay, so we will select the install OpenSSH. Done. Okay, from here, we don't need anything. We will hit done and it will start installation. Let's wait for the installation to complete. I will see you on the screen when the installation is completed. Now it's next. Okay, so we will sorry. We can see the reboot option now. We will reboot our machine. Okay, as you can see, I have logged into my machine. For I have already logged into my machine. So in your case, the Ubuntu boots into a text login form. Log in with the username and password you set during installation. This is the last time you will actually type inside the VM Windows. Okay, so now we will look for. Okay, so we find a host only IP. So we can see IP A. You can see that there are so many IPs, and we will find the ENF. You can see ANP0S8. Okay, that's our that's our host IP. I mean, uh, it is the host only adapter IP. It looks something like what it is here. Means it starts from the IP address 192. You can write that down. That's the IP you will SSH into. So just remember your IP 192, 168, and whatever the other part. Also confirm SSH is running. You can do this by sudo systemctl and do sudo. First let me clear the page. Sudo systemctl. Then you can, after CTL, you write status SSH. You have to give the password because you are doing sudo. You are accessing to the root. You have to give your, okay, so my SSH is service is disabled, but present is on. If it's not, you can do is just type HTTP dot SSH. So now you can check again. Okay, now it is active and it's running. Okay. Now switch to your Windows machine, open PowerShell, okay, and open PowerShell. Search for it in the start menu, and you can see it in the search menu and open PowerShell. In the modern Windows, the SSH, you can say SSH is inbuilt. You mean like modern Windows ships with a built-in SSH client. So we don't need putty or anything extra. Okay, so for now we will type you can see I will okay, so this is the syntax for uh, entering to SSH. You will type your username created like you know what bash enter it and the IP address you have seen 192.168.8. What is the remaining portion? Let's see, IP 56 and 103. 56 and 103. Yes, I want to continue. Now you have to enter the password. Password is the same as password you have set up during the installation of the Ubuntu. Okay, so now I inside the SSH, or you can say the inside this SSH of the Ubuntu server. That is our bash lab. Okay, so for the brief description, what we have seen is the when you log in the first time connection to SSH shows your fingerprint and asks if you sure you want to continue. You have to type yes and hit enter. This says the server fingerprint, so your machine trust it in future. The enter your pass, and we have continued with entering our password. You want it type, that's normal. Hit enter and look at that. You are inside your Ubuntu server over SSH from your Windows PowerShell. This is the setup every demo in this series uses. Let's just confirm everything works. Run who am I? Okay, so we'll like who am I? Okay, so it says I'm Flower Bash. It should print the username we have given during our installation. You can run pwd. It's your home directory. pwd. Okay, so we are on home directory. Shows the kernel version. We can wait. Sorry, pwd shows the home. We will use the uname -a. So this is our kernel version. Everything from here on we do exactly like this. Okay. From here on we will connect to SSH and we will work on the SSH. Now while we are here, update package list and upgrade any packages, run sudo apt update. This is optional work you can do if you want, but you can do this uh, at your own. It's just updating your packages and updating your server is your server version. Let it do this. Let do it things. You only need to do this once on a fresh install. So, to recap what we did installed VirtualBox, downloaded Ubuntu Server, created a VM with two network adapters, net for internet, host only for SSH, installed Ubuntu Server with OpenSSH, and connected from Windows PowerShell, and your web is ready. Next episode is chapter one, foundation of base scripting. We will navigate the file system, understand what's around us, learn file permission, and write our very first script. All of it over this exact SSH connection. If you got stuck anywhere, the VM not getting an IP, SSH refusing connection, drop it in the comment. I read everything, and if this help, please subscribe because chapter one is dropping. So see you there. Goodbye.